Hello, hello.
Weirdo.
How y'all doing?
What's
up?
happening?
What's up? You're very relaxed, baby. You got your legs crossed. You just
Because I'm a lady.
Yep. Yes, indeed. We are back. It's Wednesday. It's 10 p.m. And that means it's time for...
Relationship goals.
That's right. Hashtag relationship goals with Joe and Lisa.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Presented to you by Derilus TV, the one and only Derilus TV.
Oops.
Yes, sir. Oh no.
Really?
I'm feeling cool tonight. Right?
But you're
I'm
not.
feeling cool. All right.
But
I'm just feeling cool tonight. Offline. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have some issues with.
It's the weather.
I think you should put
Your 5G?
put yours on.
Put my what on? Oh.
Your hotspot.
Okie dokie.
Right? How's everyone doing? If you're coming on, say what's up, say what's going on. Right. So look, go ahead and share the video.
Share
Share
invite.
it. And should be good. Let me go ahead and save my wife's life. All right. We're outside and a bug just flew right into her chest. You know, a bug trying to mac, bruh.
Nah, I don't want that kind of macking.
Anyways, welcome to Relationship Goals with Joe and Lisa. We are back again. It's Wednesday night. Look, every Wednesday night, I'm going to tell you guys right now, mark it on your calendar. Okay, unless it's hurricane coming, because, we're getting close to hurricane season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, unless it's a hurricane, or some unseen
circumstances.
Or is it unseen or
unforeseen
circumstances?
Yeah,
something like that. I keep telling you, as much as I get people on spelling and stuff. English is not my first language, so sometimes I get stuck trying to find the right word.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, go ahead and share the video right now. Like the video, whatever. Say hi, say what's up. Let us know what you're doing tonight. If you're home, if
let
you're
us
at
know
work.
where you're watching from.
Yeah, where you're watching from. I know most of you guys are probably going to be here in Central Florida somewhere, but you could be out of town. You could be out of town. I have friends from Virginia. I have friends from New York. I have friends from Miami.
That's why I you a celebrity, bro. You got friends everywhere.
I'm not a celebrity.
You're a celebrity, bro.
I wish I'm not a celebrity. I'm nothing near a celebrity.
You a celebrity.
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about something very important. I mean, everything we talk about is important, right? Just saying, But for real though, for real, words matter, man.
Yep.
Words matter. What you say matter. Did I say that right?
That didn't sound right, but
I don't know what happened. What you say matters. So you want to make sure that everything that you're saying to your spouse, everything that you're communicating, is uplifting. It's building each other up. Even some of the things that may not feel good necessarily, but the result and the outcome should be to lift each other up and build each other up. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna play our intro video, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right. Real people.
Real love.
Real perspective.
Real experiences.
Relationship Goals with Joe and Lisa every Wednesday at 10 p.m. All right, welcome back to Relationship Goals with Joe and Lisa. We are back. It's Wednesday night. It's 10 p.m. So that means we're on and popping for another episode of Relationship Goals presented to you by Derilus TV. My name is Joe Derilus. This is my wife,
Elizabeth.
We have been married 6 years, 6 beautiful years. We've been together 9 years, and together we have 2 boys, a 3-year-old, and a soon-to-be 5-year-old next month. So, he's been talking about his birthday since his brother's third birthday back in February. So he's excited. He's excited. Now he's reminding me of the dates. June 8th, Daddy. June 8th.
You know why though? Because he wants that Maui birthday cake.
Yeah, he wants a Maui birthday cake. He just likes birthdays. But yeah, so every Wednesday we come on and we just kind of share, different things with you guys. We discuss different topics that has to do with relationships, but more importantly, that has to do with the real deal, the real issues that relationships go through.
Yes.
In order to get to the famous level. The famous hashtag relationship goals. When you're taking the picture at the beach, y'all wearing matching outfits and t-shirts and shoes, and everyone's like, "Ooh, that's my relationship goal," but they don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. We just want to come on and just share from our experiences and what we're learning. Also, we're not perfect, but after 6 years of being married, 9 years being together, we picked up a couple of things. You learned a few things that. We just want to share, and at the same time, we're learning from you guys as well. So we want to hear from you as well. So we're not just here to just dump a bunch of stuff on you. It's a two-way conversation.
That's right.
I feel like I just did a bunch of talking.
You always do a bunch of talking. What's different?
But you let me do all the talking.
Yeah, because when you're a celebrity, you gotta let you have your platform to do your thing.
Oh Lord. Anyways, so tonight, here's what we're talking about tonight, guys. Check it out. 5 things to never
say to your
say to your spouse. 5 things to never, ever, ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever,
you
never,
are so
ever
lame. Who
say
that?
To your spouse. Okay? 5 things to never say to your spouse.
And you think he's lame for that little impromptu song?
You don't remember that song?
Yeah, but how old is that?
That song, I don't even know.
Exactly.
That's like early 2000s, I think.
Jeez
Mid 2000s. So 5 things you never say to your spouse. Now here's the thing.
Tell us, baby.
If you're in a relationship,
what's the thing?
When you're in a relationship, whether you're dating, engaged, married, close to divorce. I'm just playing. At some point, y'all gonna have some heated arguments. Right? Some heated fellowship.
It's not arguments. It's heated discussions.
Heated discussions. There you go. Heated and elevated and magnified and amplified and energized discussion.
words.
I did pass the FCAT now. So at some point, there's going to be that type of interaction. And some things are going to be said.
Like what? What's going to be said?
Man, you...
Get on my nerves.
Well, you get on my nerves all the time.
Well, I tell you that all the time, too. So.
You get on my nerves all the time. You and my nerves are like best friends. They're like BFFs. You and my nerves.
So dumb. See, as you can see, that's okay for us to say to one another.
Yes. But there are 5 things that you should never you should avoid at all costs. At all costs, not to say to your spouse, whether it's, some of it even jokingly.
Yeah,
right?
Even jokingly.
There are certain things you don't want to say. All right? Before we share what we have, what do you guys think? What are some things that, you guys can right now you could say you should never.
Big no to say.
Big no to not say to your spouse. What are some things that you guys think that should never even be thought about to say or utter to your spouse or to your significant other, to your wife, to your husband? What are some things you guys can you guys think of?
Let us
Talk
know.
to us. Talk to us. Let us know. And
No.
if you happen to say one of the things that we were gonna say,
We'll avoid it. We'll skip it.
We'll give you a virtual high five. Okay. But for real though, for real, what are some things that you guys think you should never say to your spouse? All right. We're here. We're listening. Go ahead and let us know what.
We're waiting for you. We'll wait for you. Let us know. Let us know.
All right. Greetings, Mark. Greetings, Mark. Greetings.
You gotta say good night.
Huh?
You gotta say good night.
Mark. Oh, good night. Good night, Mark David. I love Jamaicans. Like Jamaica, that's one of the accents I wish I had. Is the Jamaican accent. Like it's just.
I don't know if that'd be fitting for you. Maybe because I've known you for so long, so I can't pair the two together.
Man, look here. If I had a Jamaican accent, man, I'd be wearing a suit every day and just talk patois. Anyways, so somebody said mentioning divorce. That's a good one. Actually,
that's a virtual high five.
Virtual high five because that's one of the ones we're gonna talk about. All right. Mark David said, "Is it in yet?" My day, you took it. You took it to another.
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for that one.
I wasn't ready
for that one. Is it in yet? Oh my gosh, that one. Hey, that one is
But that's a learning one because if it's not, that's a learning opportunity.
I don't know, man. Learning opportunity.
That's a learning opportunity.
And no learning at that point. Jeez, that's like just taking your soul away. Like, kill him. All right, so let's get started. Let's go ahead and with the first one. With the first thing you should never say to your spouse is what, baby?
I make more money than you.
I make more money than you. Oh, ooh, he said that. What? What? Oh no, he did.
Yes, that is a big no. If you think your argument was already heated, dropping that sentence is gonna escalate that argument
I make
to
more money than you.
Another level.
Ooh. Okay, let me ask you this. Now, when you hear that whatever that saying or that sentence, or when you hear something like that, who do you think is more likely to say that in a marriage?
I don't think it's
or in a relationship.
Honestly, it just depends on that individual. Like for me, that's something I wouldn't say in an argument.
Okay.
That's just me.
All right. So that's something you wouldn't say. Okay. Because for some reason I feel like people can already say, okay, oh that's the woman right there. I feel like that's something a woman would say.
That's so sexist.
Am I sexist to think that?
I don't know. I think it's situational because, like, if you think back, like, movie wise, right? Sorry guys, I don't like bugs. Movie wise, like, what was that? Medea movie, the play before it became a movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah,
it was actually the husband who said it to his wife, and then they end up getting divorced and all that craziness.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go based on movies, you usually see a guy say it so that the woman can do whatever is being told. So I don't necessarily think it's always a guy thing or always a girl thing to say. It just depends on in that relationship who's making more.
Okay, so really anyone in the relationship can say,
but you shouldn't.
I make more money than you, so I should be able to
do whatever I want.
Buy that that Xbox 360 or something.
That
is that the
latest
bike. One or that Xbox One.
That assault bike.
Or the woman should say, I make more money than you, so I should be able to. I know, I'm just ignoring you. Okay, I should be able to buy that $300 wig, right?
That's how much a wig costs?
I don't know. Or that, yeah. Or I make more money than you. I should be able to go on a shopping spree for like $1,000.
Yeah.
But that's one thing you never want to say. You never want to say to your spouse. For one, it's your money. Once you married, and we're talking more married here because that's what we are. We're married, so we're more focused on that.
It'll
but
always be
once you become married, right? It's y'all money. It doesn't matter who's making more or who's making less. Mark David said on his comment, he said that's okay because he said it means that you're paying more taxes than me.
That's true. A great comeback.
That's true. If you're making more money than probably you're paying more taxes. Mm-hmm. But also I think it's a matter of just like at the end of the day it's y'all money. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to use that as a weapon. A weapon against your spouse. And also, look, you might be making more money now than your spouse, and then shoot, next year you get laid off, and now you're making no money. Mm-hmm. You're making no money, and they're the one making they're the one with the income. So that's never a good thing to bring in just in any type of discussion, argument, none of that. Because it's not good. It's not good. And I can tell you this, as far as men, men I think men and money and men's pride is like they're like best friends. They're like best friends. So if you're a wife or a woman and you say that to a man, whoo, boy, it's gonna be hard to recover. It's gonna be hard to recover from that. All right.
Something I was gonna say about that, like if that is your like go-to for your argument, then maybe you have some like confidence issues that you have to always rely on your money to be what's your value factor for yourself.
Right.
So that shouldn't be what gives you value, and it shouldn't be used as a weapon.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, like Joe said, one day you may be making it, and you go into work tomorrow, and there goes your pink slip waiting for you. So
they say peace. All right. Mark David says, my wife always tell me that her money is her money, and my money is her money. Yep.
I love you, Louie, for that one.
That is true. That is true. All right. So what's the next thing?
So number 2.
The next thing, or number 2, or the next thing you should never, ever, never. All right. The next thing you should never say to your spouse is, "It's your fault,"
even though it might be true. I
think this one is really how you say it.
I think it's the tone
and when you say
it. Like if you're in the middle of a heated argument and everyone's just seeing red, that's just gonna make things worse. But if it's like after the fact and you're reflecting on what happened, you could be like, "Hey, this really was your fault because you didn't do X and Y, which caused Z to happen."
And I think it depends on the situation too of what happened. Let's say something bad just happened to the both of you, or even just one of you, for that to be the first thing, like you just come out and say, "Man, it's your fault. It's your fault we got into that car accident. It's your fault that we made that bad investment. It's your fault. It's your fault." Then now it's like, you're just pointing fingers and blaming one side, and especially if that if it wasn't really their fault. Now you're just kind of beating a dead horse.
And not only that too, like when you're in a heated argument and you use that phrase, you're kind of like breaking down that wall of trust you had with one another.
Right.
And trust is not easy to regain when it's been tore down.
Right, because the person wants to know that you have their back. Yeah, it is their fault, but you also have their back to support them. When they do make a mistake, when they do make an error, that you don't just just come down on them. So that's a no. That's a no. All right, what's the next thing, baby?
Number 3.
Three.
Number 3. I was gonna say the.
The next thing that you should never say to your spouse
is "I hate you."
Ooh.
Even jokingly.
"Oh, I hate you." I mean, why would you say that? Why would you say that to somebody you're in a relationship with? I mean, why y'all in a relationship?
Well, because sometimes, unfortunately, that's what you hear your parents saying to one another.
Ooh.
So sometimes growing up, you think that's an okay phrase to say. So then when you get in a relationship with your partner, you say, "Well, I hate you too," or "I hate this and this and that." and it's only because that's what you've been seeing. But that's really
that's
not
a no.
A good phrase to use.
That's a no.
Like, I tell him, I dislike you, because it's true. There's some days I dislike him,
right.
but I can't say I hate him.
Yeah, well, you don't even say I dislike you. Like,
not
I mean,
when
you
we're
might
arguing.
be feeling, you might be feeling that way, at different times.
But I would never tell you I hate you.
I could be a little knucklehead sometimes.
A little. Why are you fronting for Facebook?
A little. I could be a little knucklehead
he lying
sometimes.
On Facebook, yeah.
And I said sometimes. Okay, little sometimes. Anyways, all right.
All
so yeah, so I hate you. Look, man. Look, there is no. I'm not gonna say there is no coming back from that. But if somebody says that to you,
there goes that trust again.
Trust is one thing, and you got to take a step back and figure out what's at the core of that statement.
Yeah.
Why is that person? And why do they hate you? When did they start hating you?
And why wait till an argument to let me know?
Exactly. Why? Why now?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like that's to me. That's like, man, that's huge. That's huge. All right. Let me see. Mark Davis going back to the
it's your
fault one. It says present the facts, and whoever's fault it will be clear. So no need to state the obvious. Exactly. No need to state the obvious. We know what happened. How do we move on? How do we move forward? How to resolve this and not really stay in that place of just defeat. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate you now, man. For me, like if I hearing that from somebody that you love, right? Somebody you love, first of all, and somebody you believe loves you back. And to hear those words come out, I don't care if it's playing around. I don't care if it's out of frustration, hurt. That word should never be said. We say all the time that hate is a strong word.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's a real strong word. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful what you say in these moments of anger, in these moments of passion, in these moments of just frustration, because you don't know the type of damage it's gonna do.
Yeah.
And
words have power, even though we don't. We grow up, at least here in the U.S. I know you didn't grow up here, so you may not be familiar with the phrase, but like sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Think about how many times someone's told you, "Oh, you can't do this," or "You'll never be able to do this," or "You're not pretty enough," "You're not smart enough," and that bothered you.
Dumb, stupid.
So if ugly. Words truly didn't have power, those little words wouldn't matter.
Right.
But if they bother you, then words do matter.
Yeah.
So having someone tell you, "I hate you," can be discouraging as a person. Like, wow, like this is a person I profess my love to God, to every one of my friends and family, and now they're telling me they hate me. Like, when did this happen? Like, how could I miss this, or what did I do? So then you start having kind of self-doubt, even though it was just a moment of anger, and that's not how you truly feel.
Yeah, especially if you're, if you're somebody you sort of have your confidence in knowing that, okay, this person is in your camp no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So now for that person to come out and say they hate you, it could crush. And another thing is as much as we know each other, there are things that in each other's past that you probably don't know, right? Mm-hmm. You probably don't know what just that statement alone, what it could bring back from that person's history, from that person's upbringing.
So true.
Maybe that was that. Those
be a
words,
trigger word.
Those exactly trigger words that really hurt them, from a young age, and now just
avoid it.
Avoid it. If you're gonna get to the point where you tell the person that you're supposed to love that you hate them, don't even get to that point.
That's best just to walk away and then come back when you're more level-headed,
right?
To continue the conversation.
Right. Now this one I like. I like this next one. This next one is okay. We're talking about 5 things. 5 things to never say to your spouse. This one is actually nothing.
Yeah, it's actually saying absolutely
nothing.
The silent treatment
is
just as bad.
Very hurtful, right? Giving the silent treatment, or giving, you know, the looks, you know,
the side eye.
The side eye. You don't want to do that.
Every time we walk back,
you know.
If I knew how to roll my eyes, I would roll it for demonstration.
But yeah, so the silent treatment is a no. It's a no. It's immature.
Sure, yes. So immature.
It doesn't resolve anything. Like I hate silent treatments. You know, whenever we have anything, any sort of issues going on, like I want to get to the bottom of it. I want to get to the bottom of it like right now. You know, so if something is wrong, how you gonna move forward? How are you gonna move forward? You know, how are you gonna move forward when you're not talking?
When no one wants to communicate.
You know, I mean the way we resolve any issues in any type of relationships is through communication. Correct. So to go with the silent treatment, I know it's you being silent. You probably feel in the position of authority, you know, of power at the time, but it's not doing anything positive or anything really productive for your relationship. You know, cut the silent treatment. Start talking. You know, voice your issues, voice your concerns, voice your opinions, and then work it out together and move on and resolve whatever the issue is. All right. Let's go ahead and look at a couple of comments here. We have Cassandra said, "I have been to marriage counseling, and the word I will never use towards my spouse again is you. A few marriage counseling sessions in, we open up more than ever and have been doing great. This was 6-7 years ago, and I still don't say you. That's
a good point too.
I remember that
in our class.
Because whenever you're saying you it's almost like you're pointing the fingers and you're putting the person in a position they have to sort of defend themselves.
Not only that, but I don't know if you remember the example that our counselor gave us when she did the whole you. She said you'll be pointing at the person saying you, but then you got 3 pointing back at you. So that means you need to reflect on what you did as the individual before you start pointing fingers at anybody and saying, well, you don't do this, you never do this, and you don't blah, 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 blah. So use a good one to not start an argument with or use while in an argument. So I totally agree with that one.
I like that one. Oh, look at Mr. Cohen says, "You guys look so grown and smart." This is one of our high school teachers. Hi, Mr. Cohen. We miss you. All right. Mark David says, "Mama always said if you ain't got nothing to say, or if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all." All right.
That sounds good, but if you're in an argument, saying nothing will escalate it more. Because then it's going to be like, well, then why you don't want to tell me why you feel like that? So who is that person on your phone? Or what is that thing over there? So then it leaves the mind.
So you ain't going to talk to me?
Yeah.
So you're just going to ignore me?
So it leaves your mind to wander, making the situation worse, when really that's not what you may be thinking by keeping silent, you know?
All right. Next comment here. Mark David says, "Sometimes you got to take your time and pick your words." Yep, and pick your words. Don't be quick. Don't be too quick to speak the first thing, out of your tongue or the first thing on your tongue.
That's true.
Man, look, I know sometimes when you get in these arguments, in these fights, or these heated discussions, it almost feels like a battle. And when you're battling, you don't want to miss a shot, right? So somebody swing, you want to swing. Well, not physically. I'm just kind of giving you an example.
A visual,
okay?
Go, baby.
But it's like, imagine you in a gladiator match or something like that, and they swing with their sword, you got to swing back. They swing, you got to swing back. And you're not thinking, you just want to defend and attack. So whatever comes, they say something, you say, well, you did, and next thing you know,
jump on the computer.
Next thing you know, somebody, something is said that can't be taken back, and the damage is done, and some damages you can recover from,
undo.
And some of them take a long time to recover, and you don't want to get in that. You don't want to get there. You do not want to get in that place. But definitely, that is something that you should be very mindful of. Nessa says, I am big on communication. So with that being said, I completely agree. True, very true. Mr. Cohn says, miss you guys. Two, your advice shows a positive maturity, which is so important in a good relationship. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Mark David says, proper communications. Let me put that one up. Proper communication is listening to understand and not waiting to rebut or rebuke or rebuttal. Yes.
That's so true.
Look, I think, I remember back when we were first dating.
Yeah, our first year was rough.
I was, look, I wanted to be, make it known, look, you ain't just going to talk to me, I know how to debate. Anybody who knows me, I like debates.
You sure do.
I like debates. I like to go back and forth. Sometimes.
Captain of the debate team, bro.
But in a relationship, one thing we gotta keep in mind is this: is in a relationship, it's us against everything else, right? Yep. It's us against the issues that we have. Mm-hmm. It's us against the issues themselves. It's not us fighting against each other, right? So whenever now we've gotten to the point where we know we're gonna have issues. We're gonna have problems. Things are just gonna arise. So when they come, we attack them together. We don't attack each other with them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we get more done when we have each other's back attacking the issue versus attacking each other to try to solve the issue. Right.
Yeah. So that's keep that in mind. So you're not really using words and different things to really attack each other and get a point on top of each other. Because at the end of the day, if one person loses, then you both lost, right? So the last thing, you should never mention in a marriage. In a marriage is the D word.
Dun dun dun.
The D word. We talked about the D already. Yeah.
But in an argument, that D word.
Woo, that should never be mentioned.
Yes.
It should never be thought about. Well, let me come back. Okay. In that type of setting, in an argument. Right? In a discussion. That has nothing to do with that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if that's a resolve or a result, or the outcome of whatever the conversation was or whatever was happening, then okay, then it's then y'all do what you got to do. But to use it in an argument, to use it as a weapon, to use it to manipulate the person,
the outcome of that argument.
That's where it's wrong, And going back to the trust issue, man, if that word is being said, then how can I really trust that you're gonna be there for me?
Yeah,
how can I trust that you're really in this, right? In this for the long haul, right? No.
And one of the reasons why we keep emphasizing, don't even say it jokingly, because sometimes jokingly can lead to really meaning it. Right. So you have to be.
And it's like a little seed.
And
like
that's not the kind of seed you want to plant.
You're planting in your relationship without even knowing it. And then the seed also could be planted in your own mind, or it could be now planted in the person's mind. Because now they're like, okay.
Well, let me jump the gun. Let me get it there before they get there.
Right. Oh, they think about divorce. Okay, well, let me go ahead and get me a work wifey. A work wife.
No, you ain't getting no work wife over here.
let me go ahead and get a work husband. So just in case
I got backup plan.
I got my backup plan. And just in case they come at me, with them papers, and I'll be like, hey, that's
okay.
great, that's cool. I got me, so and so in this.
But not even that. You may be thinking, oh, I'm gonna go get the work wifey. But if you're throwing that word around, like say Bob throws the word around to Joanne or whatever. Mm-hmm. Joanne be like, well,
whoa,
Joanne.
Bob and Joe.
Yeah.
Wait a minute now.
I meant to say Joanne. I was going to say Jane, but then it didn't come out.
Mm-hmm.
So then the wife in that situation be like, well, if he's thinking about that, well, let me jump the gun and go get my own attorney and start preparing my stuff and my situation.
Shoot. I wonder how many people got just like straight up like surprise divorce papers just out of nowhere. You know,
I don't know, but I know there was
and they were you know sort of like the initiator or whatever, but then all of a sudden, person come out of nowhere, boom!
There go your paperwork. Not only that, but sometimes too, like when you're in an argument and you throw out that divorce word, sometimes your pride don't let you take it back.
That's true.
So then you're in like a dangerous situation where
now you can't really take it back.
You can't take it back because you're too prideful, but you don't want to do it. And then now you're in a situation that's just not fun anymore, and that is just so dangerous.
Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. No. Again, it's planting seeds that aren't gonna grow on, or seeds that are not gonna produce anything good in the relationship. You know, and you have to be very, very, very mindful. Yes, I understand emotions can sometimes overtake us and take control of us, right? But you have to just, I don't know, it's you just have to you still
have to be in control of your emotions and yourself.
Of your emotions. You have to be mindful, and you have to consider also what sort of damage is going to do to the person. What is going to do to what we're building, what we have together. You know, it's just bad. It's just bad. Somebody says also you shouldn't talk about the past. You don't want to talk too much about the past, right? You don't want to talk too much about the past. If the past is the past for a reason, right? The past is the past, and you don't want to bring the past into the present and have that just ruin everything. Somebody said, or compare to X. Whoop! Look at here.
That's another one.
You're gonna get X.
Yeah, you be the next X.
You don't want to compare. The person that you're with your ex. That's a no. No, that's a no. Definitely. Okay, somebody has said donuts. Said just kidding. I definitely agree with you guys. Never use that D word unless it's donuts. Yeah, you're right. Unless it's donuts.
I like donuts too. So
I'm gonna get you some donuts because you're grumpy right now. I'm like, okay.
That red light on, that Krispy Kreme.
Okay, Krispy Kreme, please.
The red light on.
Yeah, man. But that's what we wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. Is that because again, we like when we say relationship goals and we're talking about the real deal in relationships. Those are things that are real deals in relationships. You know? Relationships aren't easy. It takes work. Yes. It takes grit. You gotta grind. You gotta fight. You don't fight each other, but you fight the things that come against your relationship. Things that come in trying to stop your relationship from growing. Those are the things you fight, but you don't fight each other. But they will come. They will come, and you have to already be in the mindset knowing that these things are going to come, but we're in this together for the long run, and we're not going to let it come between us and affect what we have. All right, so that's all we have for you guys tonight. Those were our the
we
5
should do
things.
A
recap. Okay, so let's do a recap real quick.
All right, who remembers what the first topic was? Who remembers what the first point was? First person to get it gets an Air 5.
I don't even know.
You don't remember?
I remember. What was it? Oh yeah, I remember. Money.
It
was money.
So that's your hint. Is money. So.
All right, so let's go through them real quick. All right, so 5 things you never want to say to your spouse. All right, 5 things. I make more money than you. No. All right, it's your fault. You don't want to say that. That's number 2. Number 3.
I hate you.
What? You hate me?
No, I don't.
You hate me?
So number 3 was I hate you. And we're not trying to relive no bad or baby boy scenes in real life. That's not real life. Okay, guys? Number 4. Number four
is nothing.
The silent treatment is a big no, guys.
Talk it out. Communicate. Voice whatever the issues are, the opinions, whatever.
Yes.
Voice them. All right.
And number 5.
The D word. Do not
divorce.
mention the D word. Okay? The only D word that I should be mentioning is donuts and another D word.
I thought you were going to say it.
Huh?
I thought you were going to say it.
So I started blushing. I just want to say that on the screen. But, that's the only D words I need to be working with. Donuts and, and the D. All right? That's what I'm saying. Because, if when that D is in the picture, you know what I mean? Then there's no, everything's cool, everybody doing that thing, you know what I mean? It's a party, you know what I mean? All right, because
that D can help solve for some problems.
Man, that D is an equalizer. Y'all know how Denzel Washington is the equalizer. That D is sometimes is the best equalizer to just smash everything, literally. Hey, you know what I'm saying? The D come through, and everybody's like, it's everything's fine now.
Yeah, we're happy.
We happy.
We can post our selfie now with the goal, with the hashtag.
Yeah, but that's the only D I need to be working with. All right. So yeah. So I think those were some pretty major things. Things. Let me see.
And I'm gonna throw in the snippet. I think it was Cassandra that said the whole "don't use the word you" in an argument.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. That didn't make our top 5, but it's definitely up there in the top 6. So that is a key one to use. Thank you for that point.
And another thing that she mentioned is marriage counseling.
Yes.
Now I know marriage counseling altogether. I know is sort of frowned upon, especially in minority communities. But as married couples, you don't have to wait until you guys get into something you can't come back from to go and get counseling.
So true, honey.
If you kind of sense things aren't necessarily where they need to be,
they're off.
You kind of sense things
are off.
Are just off, or you may just want to kind of take things to another level. Go ahead, find somebody that can, counsel you guys, preferably a professional. We're not counselors, so don't
message us. We can refer you to people.
we can refer you to actual, licensed professional counselors. But it doesn't have to be. Everything doesn't have to be wrong. Go ahead, Vivian.
And then something about the whole counselor point. It's kind of like the whole aspect of a car. You take your car to get maintenance before, so it doesn't have big issues and problems.
Exactly.
So you should look at your counselor the same way. They're going to help you tune up your relationship and your marriage before a big issue arises.
Yeah. Like I always say, it's hard. It's hard for two people to come together. It's hard. Any type of relationship, especially business, friendship, romantic. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So at some point, there's gonna be little things here and there that you just don't like about the person, And if you may not want to communicate that. But the thing is, if you don't communicate those things, and sometimes there are things that you just don't even realize that you do, but those little things, they can build up to the point where one day you just explode.
Snap.
And you snap. So before you get to that point,
get your tune-up.
Get your tune-up, man. Get your tune-up. Talk to somebody.
Yep.
All right? So that is it. Marriage counseling sounds scary, but it is the best thing anyone can do for themselves. That is very true, very true, very true indeed. But anyways, thank you guys for coming on with us and being with us tonight. All right. Go ahead and like the video, share. We appreciate all the comments, all the suggestions, all of the input. All right. We'll be back next Wednesday, 10 p.m. right here live on Facebook. All right. Again, share the video, share it. And of course, head on over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, my wife just asked me, just reminded me that we didn't do a Q&A. Okay, so Q&A.
Any questions,
questions, comments, concern, or anything at all you guys want us kind of touch base on maybe something we can clarify, shoot, anything at all, just shoot it
or
at
even
us.
if you want us to talk about a certain topic for next week's show or the upcoming shows, let us know. Don't be shy. We've done this long enough that you kind of know we're an open book at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I got a comment here. It says someone who's third party that doesn't know either of you, so they can give you actual advice and not just one sided. That's talking about as far as a counselor. If you and sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be like a licensed professional.
But it
could be somebody
non-biased person.
Right, an unbiased person, someone that is wise,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that is experienced, not just theoretical. I think that it's the main thing is someone who's not biased, because you don't want to get to the point where it's like now it's 2-on-1,
Mm-hmm.
at the marriage counseling or whatever.
And not only that too, if you find that marriage counseling is too expensive, a lot of times your pastor at your local church that you attend has sometimes a marriage ministry, or you can set up an appointment with your pastor to help discuss whatever those issues are as a second option. And
you have also some of the local community colleges or local universities. They have actual counselors there that can help you. Stephanie Colognes asks, how long we've been married. We've been married
6 years.
6 years. 6 years. We got married on March 28th, 2012.
Yes.
So we just celebrated 6 years being married. All right. Mr. Gene St. Louis says, can your spouse have a best friend of the opposite sex?
We actually answered that last week.
We talked about that last week. Yes. Your spouse can have a best friend of the opposite sex as long as the best friend respect boundaries and also who they are. It's not a secret best friend. It's a known best friend that you both are friends with. So that's definitely okay. All right.
OMG.
These guys.
This chat. You gotta love your friends, right? Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
You guys definitely check out the comments.
Between Mark David and Ramses.
Okay, so there's a follow-up question to the best friend question.
Yes.
Can they go on friend dates? Absolutely.
For me, that would depend on the
time and where,
and things like that, just because of being respectful kind of situation. Right. But if that's your best friend, that's still your best friend. They were your best friend before your partner got here,
or not, or it could have been after. But as long as the intention, the intention there is right, both on your spouse, on your spouse's side, and on their side also. But if there is sort of no history or anything like that there, then I would just I think it's cool. All right, Cassandra said also, if you have health insurance, get with them. Sometimes they cover marriage counseling for free. That is
very true.
Yep. So some health and health insurance coverages.
Call that number on the back of your card.
do cover counseling. So hey, man, shoot.
You paying for it? Might as well use it.
Check it out. All right. Okay, we got another follow-up question. Can they go to their house? Sure. I mean, what?
Nah, if you're talking about sleepovers, I don't know about that.
Unless the house got I don't know, drugs and people shooting. I don't know. If the house is safe, sure, why not?
As long as it's not a sleepover, that's
it's not a sleepover, or they're over there like, I don't know. Just you know when it's right, you know when it's wrong, right? Mm-hmm. You know it. All right. Can they go in their room?
For me personally, going into someone's bedroom is off limits. That's just a respect thing and how I was raised. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'm just weird, but going in someone's bedroom is not okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit inappropriate.
Yeah. But you're more than welcome to sit in the living room and watch TV.
Sure, or the kitchen table.
Yep, that is true.
All right, I think that's it. That's it, folks. We've held you guys long enough. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday, 10 p.m. And also in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be having some friends with us.
Yep.
Other couples. Some of them may not also be couples, or just other people that can, add insight, and really add value to to this conversation of relationship goals. All right. So thank you guys. Have a good night. Have a blessed night. We'll see you next week, 10 p.m. right here live on Facebook. Relationship Goals with Joe and Lisa.
Bye.
All right.
Have a good night.